This is going to be a Magic of Christmas reading. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. I'd like to start off by wishing those of you that are celebrating a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, wishing you an amazing 2024. I can't believe we're already at the end of the year, and when I think of this time of the year, it definitely feels magical, you know? It's like anything can happen, and we have to believe. This is where we really have to set the intentions and believe that what's coming in will be better. Now, I'm not all about, doing New Year's resolutions, but I am about setting intentions. Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? This has been my phrase of late, okay? So what we're going to do with this reading is we're going to look at the magic of Christmas. What gifts we are going to receive mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, okay? So let's take a look at the overall themes or messages for this reading. And we have here, by the book. You know, this card comes out, I feel like, whenever I use this deck, and it's for a reason. And that is because so many people think they have to do everything by the book. Everybody has to be so regimented, everybody's got to know every detail. We've got to follow the who, what, when, where, why, and how. And this brings me back to my teacher days in the classroom where I was an English teacher. And what do we teach students? What do we teach people? Who, what, when, where, why, and how. It's almost like we're about to write this huge essay or report, and we got to do everything so regimented. And I'm going to encourage you to do the opposite. I want you to recognize that you don't have to do things by the book. And the reason I say that is because whenever we're trying to control the outcome, this is when we get resistance. This is when we have writer's block. I mean, geez, think about that analogy in regards to school. Have you ever sat down to write something? You have an outline, but you just can't write it even though you have that outline, even though you're thinking who, what, when, where, why, and how. And all of a sudden you're like, I don't even know what to write. And yet you have prompts. You don't have to do everything by the book. When you free flow, you realize that you can achieve things. You can get ideas or spark things you never thought possible. And that's what I want you to do in the next little bit. Between Christmas and New Year's, I want you to just let it flow. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Wow. Okay, so let's take a look at what else you need to know here. Now, we do have a full moon in Cancer coming up, so I wanted to take a moon card just to kind of feel out the energies. Full moon in Cancer. Emotions are running very high. And, oh my gosh. Oh, I can just imagine the comments. I just did a video about this where we talked about patience, and I said no person ever says they want to have patience. And have a little patience. Have a little patience. I'm almost thinking of the song. Oh, okay. Well, trust the process. Trust the process. What else can we do? Free flow, trust the process, let things unfold exactly the way that they're supposed to. Okay. Ooh, these cards were about to slide out. Let's see, what else do we need to know here? Staying focused. Hold the course. This doesn't mean you have to do things by the book. All I want you to do is set an intention. I want you to observe. I want you to just see what happens, okay? So stay focused with the intention that everything is going to be absolutely wonderful and beautiful. And that's not being delusional, by the way. It means you're asking for what you want or better. And if you heard me talk about this in the other video, I want to get into it all deeply again, but my point is this: don't narrow your focus. It's like search parameters. You're on a website, and every time you add a search parameter, what do? You take away possible results. You narrow it so much that you don't get as many hits. So here's the thing. It's the same thing in life or in dating or whatever it is. Be open. Be open to the possibilities. The possibilities are endless, okay? So let's take a look at the gifts that are coming in our headspace mentally, okay? What gifts? Now I have the Yuletide Tarot here. And we have the Six of Gifts. You know, this is the Six of Pentacles, and this is equal giving and receiving and balance. And this is what I want for you in regards to your headspace. I want you to recognize that you deserve to receive. It's okay to give. There's nothing wrong with that. And no, I don't want this to be transactional where it's like, well, I give to you, so you have to give to me. No, it's about an investment, okay? It's about balance. So we have equal giving and receiving and balance. And with that, we have the Four of Canes. The Four of Swords, in this case, is all about healing, okay? This could be you taking a rest, a nap, a break. That's okay to do that, okay? I want you to have mental healing in your headspace. Take a break from the overthinking, the overanalyzing, whatever it is that you're doing, okay? And what else? You know, the Three of Candles, I want you to attract, no chasing. This is a card that basically says you're waiting for your ships to come in, or in this case, maybe the sleigh to come in. Whatever it is, I want you to put out good energy, and I want you to attract, okay? Now, this can also be a card that says you're sitting on the sidelines. Maybe I'll do this tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Like, you don't have to do anything right away, but at some point you're going to have to make a move. And I have a feeling for a while now, you've been thinking about how to make this move. You've been really trying to figure it out. And if you need a little break, that's okay. You know, I'm kind of going to this like essay writing analogy for a moment. I want you to think about your school days. You know, ever notice that when you try to force the writing or force the project or the report, whatever you were working on, like I said, it just didn't flow. And then you take a break from it, and then you come back, and all of a sudden you've got fresh eyes, fresh ideas, and all of a sudden it does start to flow. So, you know, it's all about balance, right? Everything in moderation. And with that, we have the Six of Good Cheer, Six of Cups. Now, 6 could very well be an angel number that you're seeing, and that's all about balance, equal giving and receiving. You know, the 6 of Cups is nostalgia. So in your headspace, you might be reminiscing, and that is okay. It's okay to think of the highlight reel of good times or intimate moments, whatever they may be. But understand that you can visit the past, you can't live there. And I think I repeated that 1,000,000 times in the weekly reading. My apologies for the repetition, but I can't help it sometimes. It just comes through. But this is also about a wish coming true. And you'll see. You're going to get the gift of clarity. I really believe that. Okay? I was filming some readings for the next few days, and I kept getting light cards, you know? So I would just say to you that you will be enlightened. Okay, let's get what gifts emotionally are coming your way. What gifts emotionally? Page of Canes. Page of Swords. This is interesting. This is a card of spying or observing. And you know, as much as I tell you not to spy and observe, I continue that message. I actually think that this is like a message that somebody's going to be watching you. Okay? And the reason they're going to be watching you is because you're attracting. Because in your headspace, you're not going to do the obsessive thinking or the energetic chasing. You're going to allow yourself to be logical and decisive and say, you know what? I got to do what's best for me. And so there you go. I think that that's going to be a very interesting gift emotionally in the heart space. And you don't want to lean in too much. As soon as somebody leans into you, be careful that you don't just go lean right back in, because what you'll do is you'll negate the work that you did to put yourself first. Now, what else? Four of Gifts. You know, this is the thing. The Four of Gifts is the Four of Pentacles, and you can see that this person is holding on very tightly. And you've got to be very careful that you're not holding on too tightly to your emotions. You know, again, to that nostalgia of the past, of that Six of Cups. Like I said, it's okay to visit there. You can't live there. And it's not so comfortable. I always say, if your comfort zone's so comfortable, why do you want to leave it? So you've got to be aware that you can visit there. You just can't live there. So at certain points, you're going to have to let go. And I think something is going to help you do that. I think you're going to get the gift of letting go. Now, by the way, letting go is not giving up, right? It's about surrendering. And with that, we have here the Seven of Gifts, the Seven of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, I honestly, oh, okay. The Seven of Pentacles is a very much a trust the process kind of card. It means the seeds are planted. They're not going to harvest overnight. They will in due time. The anxiety and worry is not going to help you. You know, you can't go busting out the miracle grow in the garden to make the flowers grow, bloom quicker. You have to let it happen as it's supposed to. And you know what? Oh, you're going to get the gift of patience. You can't make that up. Okay. The Queen of Gifts, the Queen of Pentacles, this is stability. You're going to get a gift of stability. And I just want to make an observation here that notice how in this row here, which is sort of your emotional space, you're getting a lot of Pentacles cards, gifts, okay? Now, yes, we had the Six of Gifts up here, but essentially, you're getting tangible things emotionally that are going to help you. And let's take a look at spiritually. What gifts spiritually are you going to be experiencing? The Knight of, oh my goodness. Wow, okay. I don't know why I'm anticipating these comments. I know you're all going to do a collective eye roll like I would, and you're all going to go, trust the process, Kelly. Trust the process, Kelly. If you don't know the story about trusting the process, let me just enlighten everybody and remind everybody that when a person walked out my front door many years ago at this point, turned around, looked over their shoulder, and said to me, trust the process, Kelly. Now, in that moment, I didn't think to ask what it meant, trust the process. Now, how I tell the story now is I'll say, trust the process, Kelly, like as if I'm like, right? It's not that that's how the person said it to me. I say it that way because that's internally how I took it in the moment, where I was like, what does that even mean? And I was upset with myself that I didn't even ask, okay? But I wasn't meant to know. I really wasn't. I had to learn that lesson. It wasn't easy. I don't proclaim it to be easy for you too. But my whole point is this. If at this point I don't know what trust the process is, there's something wrong. Now that's not in relation to you. I'm just speaking on my behalf, my journey. Trust me when I tell you that I know trust the process. And often we want to rush the process, and that doesn't help. So if this is about a relationship, understand that you have to trust their process also. And so the fact that spiritually we're learning, trust the process, have patience. You know, I'm kind of reminded something here. I was telling you earlier, you don't have to be by the book. But you know what rings in my mind right now? Part of that trust the process conversation was, gotta do things the right way, Kelly. Gotta do things the right way. And that statement was saying, gotta go by the book, right? Gotta do things by the book. Gotta follow this thing through to the very end, even if it's wrong, okay? And what I've learned along the way is we gotta trust the process. We have to live our lives. We don't have to do things by the book. It just requires courage to do things differently. That's what it comes down to, okay? So, you know, the Knight of Gifts here is, yes, trusting the process. Wow. Okay, what other spiritual gifts can we anticipate? The Nine of Canes. Okay, you're going to have to learn how to deal with the worry and the anxiety. That comes back to the Seven of Pentacles that I was talking about, as in worry and anxiety over here. Nine of Canes is like the energy that kind of keeps you up at night. We have to stop doing that. That's the emotional pain body. That's doing the who, what, when, where, why, and how. Well, the Krampus card here is the Devil card. And the Devil card is about restrictions, codependency, addictions. And I know this may not seem like gifts, right, as we're describing them, but guess what? They really are gifts, okay? And let me sum that up when I see this last card here, because I'm curious. What is this last gift? Oh, 2 cards came out. Well, you know what? I said it was the magic of Christmas, right? Well, this is the Magician. The irony of ending with the Magician. And look what came out with it. The star. The star on that tree. The light. And I talked to you earlier about how I was filming this week. And this week, but also today. And I kept seeing images of light. You know, the Magician is Mercury. You have all the tools to manifest everything you could ever want. You just have to be mindful of your thoughts, your feelings, your words, and your actions. And the star is blessings, healing, falling in love. It's unbelievable, actually. I'm kind of at a loss for words, surprisingly, because it makes me very emotional to think about this process. You may not realize what a gift trusting the process is, dealing with the worry and anxiety, and letting go of restrictions. And what are restrictions? They're boundaries. You know, so many of us struggle with saying no to people, and it's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to put yourself on the pedestal. When you learn the lesson or the gift of making boundaries, cutting out the worries and the anxiety of the things you can't control, and trusting the process and having patience, you know what happens? You get the gift of healing and blessings, and you get magic. And I called this the magic of Christmas reading. And you know what's funny? I didn't plan that. I'm the kind of person that wings it when it comes to the questions that I ask in my readings. Like, I don't sit down and think about this ahead of time. I'm not by the book. That's actually something about me that I don't know if everybody realizes, that when I was in a classroom, I never walked in with a lesson plan. I knew roughly what I was going to do, but I certainly didn't have anything scripted or ready to go. When I make videos for you that are speaking videos, I don't plan them. I just speak from the heart, or I channel from my intuitive self. And I can believe, I shouldn't even say that. I can believe it. We ended up with the Magician. This is the magic of Christmas. So, you know, let's take a Power of Surrender card here to see what we need to surrender or surrender to this Christmas. Surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in. Rather than trying to handle everything yourself, this can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. How beautiful is that? Surrender denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. And listen, I know trusting the process is not on your agenda. It's not what you want to do. And by trusting and having patience, you will see how things shift for you. And you'll be able to make even better decisions. So I really hope this resonates with you. If you'd like to do a personal reading with me, the link is in my bio. If you'd like a 2024 Tarot and Oracle forecast, that's also available on my website. As always, thank you so much for your kindness and support. Again, I wish you a very Merry Christmas, a magical time for your personal growth and evolution. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you all soon.